Welcome to the world of the Ellison letter machine, a simple time-saving tool that will change the way you spend your teaching day. Ellison is proud to introduce the extra-large letter machine. Like the original, the XL machine is easy to use and requires very little maintenance. There are a few simple guidelines to follow that will help keep your XL machine working perfectly for years. Sandy Genovese is Vice President and Art Director for Ellison Educational. She's here now to demonstrate how easy it is to use your XL machine.
The extra-large Ellison letter machine will cut anything scissors will cut, only it cuts more quickly, more uniformly, and more precisely than you could ever cut by hand. The XL machine comes completely assembled and ready to use with its own toolkit, which includes the instruction video, a die pick for picking the dies clean, one hex wrench, the cutting edge instruction booklet, the test die, 3 additional mylar shims, 1 extra cutting pad, and finally, 8 issues of the Ideas newsletter, which are filled with creative ideas sent in from teachers around the country. Ellison has die blocks in 3 sizes: standard, double cut, and extra large. The standard size die is used for tiny, small, and large designs, as well as 1¼ inch, 2-inch, 3, 4, and 5-inch letters and numbers. Your XL machine will cut every size die. However, the size of the die will determine where you place it in the machine when you get ready to cut. When cutting a standard size die, you place the paper against the rubber side of the die and turn the die over. This is important so that the blades will cut into the cutting pad, not into the steel pressure plate. Slide the die into the machine until it's centered under the pressure plate. You can feel the overlapping of the plate with your fingers. You're going to lower the handle about 3/4 of the way and cut. That simple action has generated 5 perfectly cut apples. It's important to hold on to the handle on the way down and back up. If you lower the handle all the way down, this will not damage the machine or the dies, but it will wear out your cutting pad a little bit faster. When cutting with an XL die, the process is similar. You place the paper against the rubber side of the die, turn the die over, and slide the die into the machine until one end is flush with the pressure plate. Lower the handle, this time all the way down, and cut. Slide the die until the other end is flush with the pressure plate and cut again. I've just cut 5 extra large elephants. With a few of the more intricate XL dies, like the snowflake, it's sometimes necessary to cut an extra time in the middle. The paper against the rubber, the die rubber side down till it's flush with the pressure plate, lower the handle, and now I'm going to slide the die into the middle position for the extra cut. And then to the final position where it's flush with this end of the pressure plate and cut for the final cut. And here you see the perfectly cut snowflakes. When cutting a double cut die in the XL machine, you place the paper once again against the rubber side of the die, turn it over, slide it into the machine until it's flush with the pressure plate, also being careful that the die is centered in the machine. Lower the handle all the way down and cut. Slide the die until the second position. Cut again. I was cutting with a double cut crown, so I have 5 nicely cut crowns. That's all it takes to operate the XL machine. It's simple to use and requires very little maintenance.
The most common misconception about the dies is that the die blades have become dull and need to be sharpened. Ellison dies are designed to last for years, literally hundreds of thousands of cuts. So if you have a cutting problem, it probably means it's time to change the cutting pad. Sandy's going to show us how.
If you look closely at this cutting pad, you can see hundreds of grooves left by the dies cutting into the pad. The dies need to cut into the pad and make good contact. You will know that you have a problem when you go to cut 5 of something and you find that the 5th copy does not cut well. That means that it's time to change the cutting pad. To do that, you take the hex wrench from your toolkit and use it to remove the 4 corner screws that hold the cutting pad in place. You remove the pad and you're going to flip the pad to examine the back. It's important to be sure you flip the pad this way, not this way. Flip the pad over to see if it's been used. If you have a pad that's fresh on one side, you're going to reinsert the pad into the machine fresh side up. Before you replace the 4 corner screws, you need to test to see if the cutting height is correct on your machine. To do that, you take the test die, slide it into the machine until it's flush with the pressure plate, and lower the handle all the way down and cut. Remove both the die and the cutting pad and look to see if you have a clear, even impression of that die on the cutting pad. If you do, you will put the pad back into position and replace the 4 corner screws. When you pull it out, if you notice that you don't have a clear, even impression, that means you need to add a mylar shim to raise the cutting height. You would begin by adding 1 mylar shim under the pad and then slide both of them together into the machine. Once again, slide the test die in until it's flush and cut. Slide out both the die and the cutting pad and check again for the clear, even impression on the pad. You'll repeat this process, adding 1 mylar shim until you find that you have a good, clean impression. When you do, you insert the pad, and now you can replace the 4 corner screws. Now, when you first took this pad out and you flipped it, if you discovered that both sides of the pad have been used, like you see with this cutting pad, you need to just toss this and start with a fresh pad. In order to do this, I'm going to remove any extra mylar shims that were in the machine, with the exception of the eye shim. The eye shim was placed in the machine at Ellison to more evenly distribute the pressure in the machine, and it's important that it always sit under the cutting pad. With the eye shim in place, I slide my fresh pad into the machine, put in the test die, and once again cut. Remove the die and the cutting pad and look for that clear, even impression. If the impression is there, replace the pad and replace the 4 corner screws. If it's not, you're going to repeat the process, adding 1 shim at a time until you see that clear, even impression. When you replace the 4 corner screws, it's important to make sure that the screws are tightly secure and sit lower than the height of the cutting pad. That's all it takes, and your machine is ready to go. It's important to maintain both your machine and the dies. The only maintenance the dies require is periodically check the rubber side of the die and look to see if you have bits of paper or other products stuck in the die joints. The joint is the place where 2 die blades will come together, and if I allow this paper to remain in here, it may push the die blades slightly apart. So periodically I'll take the die pick from the toolkit and use that to pick that die clean. After years of use, you may notice the handle starting to stick or that it's stiff to lower. If this should happen, it means that it's probably time to change either the end bearings or the pressure bearings, which are located under this cap. If this should happen, use the 800 number to call Ellison and arrange to have your machine sent in to us for service. That's all the maintenance that your XL machine or dies will require.
Periodically check or replace the cutting pad. Keep the dies clear of scraps. And call Ellison if you notice problems with the bearings. Basically, that's all it takes to keep your XL machine in perfect working condition. Now, Sandy's going to give us a few helpful hints on using your XL machine.
The number of thicknesses that your XL machine will cut depend on the material that you're cutting. If you're using construction paper, like I was using here, it will cut through 5 thicknesses at one time. If you're using a product that's thinner, it will cut more, and if it's thicker, it would cut less. If you want your designs to be laminated, you simply laminate the paper before you cut. These bookmarks were cut from laminated cardstock. Sometimes, however, you need for the design to be decorated before it's laminated, like this clock. What you would do is cut the clock first, add the decoration, then run it through the laminator, as you can see I've done here. Take the laminated clock, place it back over the die, aligning it with the blades, and now use the machine to trim off that excess lamination for you. Once again, you don't have to use your scissors. When you use the machine to cut fabric, some of the thinner fabrics, they tend to want to wrinkle when they slide into the machine. So you place the fabric over the die and then take a scrap of paper and put it over the fabric. And then once again, slide it into the machine and cut. This is felt that I'm cutting to cut the alligator, which is wonderful for making flannel board stories. The process is very similar with the product that we carry called polyfoam. It's similar to placemats. You place the polyfoam against the rubber, and when you go to insert it, it wants to grip against the cutting pad. So once again, you take a scrap of paper, place it against the polyfoam, and slide it into the machine. Cut. Polyfoam is a terrific product for cutting math manipulatives like the tangram that you see here. You can use the machine to cut shape booklets, invitations, or note cards by folding the paper before you place it into the machine. To do this, fold the paper and place it on the die just inside the blade where I want the book to open and close. Slide it into the machine and cut. You can see where I've cut everywhere except where I pulled the paper away from the blades. And that gives you booklets. It's most efficient with your paper to leave it in long strips rather than into squares. You can see how I was able to tuck the T into the opening made from the A or the I into the opening made from the L. It's also apparent when you see decorative shapes. I was able to cut one extra heart by leaving my paper in a long strip rather than in squares. You can take a standard die, and when you put it into the XL machine to cut, you can place it in either direction, this way or this way. What this does is it gives you the option of making cards that open from the top, like this, or that open from the side, like this. It also gives you the opportunity of cutting words that read up and down, or words that read across. Finally, remember, your XL machine will cut anything scissors will cut. Rubber for making rubber stamps, plastic, vinyl, sponge, magnet, fabric, polyfoam. The list is endless. All you really need is imagination.